Alright, let's move on to the static stretching portion of our warm-up. After you use the foam roll, you'll want to do static stretches before you do dynamic stretches. We'll start with your calves. Go ahead and find something stable to hold on to. Take a large step, keeping your heel back on the ground. You can then lunge forward and get a nice stretch in that calf muscle. As you can see, my knee is straight in the back, but there's also another version to this stretch. Stepping in slightly and bending that back knee will stretch lower in your calf muscle and in your Achilles tendon. This is great if you're a runner. While we're stretching, make sure you breathe deeply and hold each stretch for between 20 to 30 seconds. Your hip flexor stretch is next. So for this, we'll be on one knee, and you're just going to lunge forward, pushing that hip forward and being careful not to arch your back. This is what you don't want to do. Instead, just push that hip forward till you feel a stretch in the front of your hip and thigh. Hold it for between 20 and 30 seconds. And then you can move on to your hamstring of your opposite leg by just straightening it out and pulling your chest towards that knee. If you want to go even further, pick up your toes, and voila, we have a calf stretch. Next we have our glute stretch. For this, I like to start in a dancer's sit on your side, and then you're going to take that front leg, make sure it's bent in front of you, and rotate onto the top of your back thigh. Keeping your chest up nice and tall, hold this stretch, and breathe deeply. Here we have a double duty stretch. We're going to stretch your IT band and your latissimus at the same time. Go ahead and cross that right leg behind the left. You can hang on to something for support. We're going to push that right hip out and then reach over the top with our right arm till you feel a nice stretch in your back and in your thigh. Hold it for 20 to 30 seconds and then release. Let's begin the dynamic portion of your warm-up. Dynamic stretching means we take the joint through a full range of motion instead of holding it in one spot like we did with the static stretching. We'll start with your neck. You'll start slowly holding each position for 1 to 2 seconds, and then as you warm up you can move slightly faster. You'll probably do about 10 repetitions of each exercise, but I'm only going to show you one. Side to side, ear to your shoulder, and then chin to chest, chin to ceiling, and then turning your head side to side. Try to pick a point behind you. And then we can move on to your shoulders. Start with arm swings to the front. Do about 10 of these. And then move over your head. 10 forward and 10 backwards. Let's do some dynamic lunges here. You can use a medicine ball if you want, but make sure it's light. This is just a warm-up. First, we're going to do our lunge with a twist. You'll alternate each side. Both hands out in front, step forward, twist, and bring it back. Notice as I'm doing these lunges, my front knee stays right over my ankle. Do about 10, then you can move on to your lunge with a lean. Next, let's warm up those hips dynamically using hip swings. You'll want to find something sturdy to hang on to with this. Starting with the right leg, we're just going to swing it forward and backward dynamically. Be careful not to arch your back. Do about 10 on each side. Then we can move to side swings. For this, you'll actually face the cage. Step back slightly so you don't kick anything. Then swing your hip in front of your body. Again, 10 on each side. Now we're going to do air squats. No weight. Hand position is up to you. You can either have your hands on your hips or out in front of you, whatever you need for balance. So we'll do 10 repetitions of each. Do regular squats, and then finish with a toe raise for 10 more. Now remember to keep really good form with these squats. You want to sit back into those hips, heels on the floor for your squat. Chest is up tall, looking forward. And then you can come up on your toes at the end of the motion.